Hello and welcome to Telugu One Academy. My name is Anand. We are dealing with fundamental rights. In last class, we have discussed directive principles of state policy. We also discussed how important DPSP are, features of directive principles of state policy. And we also categorized directive principles of state policy into 4 categories. One is socialistic principles, second Gandhian principles, third one liberal intellectual principles, and fourth one is international and western principles. So just we'll go back. These are the 4 types of directive principles of state policy. This we have not categorized in the constitution. Constitution is, no, we have not categorized in the constitution, but for general understanding, we have categorized here like socialist pattern, Gandhian pattern, liberal and intellectual principles, international and western principles. So last class we have discussed socialistic principles. Here in this class, we will be discussing directive principles of state policy based on Gandhian principles. So, Article 40. What is Article 40? We keep Article 40 in Gandhian principle because Article 40 talks about Panchayat Raj. We describe Article 40 in terms of panchayats, that is local government, local bodies, local units of government. So organize village panchayats. As Gandhi said, India lives in villages. Until and unless we have a development in villages, no country will progress. So right from agrarian, animal husbandry, or such activities should be strengthened at village level. Villages should make participation in the governance. So they should be given power to organize themselves and to democratically participate in the governance and in the government as well. So Article 40, we have seen the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, Constitutional Amendment Act, gave constitutional status to rural local bodies and urban local bodies. So we have in part 9, it is been mentioned regarding panchayats, and part 9A, municipalities. So, as we know, the state should keep in mind while framing any policies the directive principles of state policy. The DPSPs guide the state in formulating any policies or bringing any law. So this article, we have seen that the mention of panchayats has become a reality. That is, now we have given a constitutional status to rural bodies and urban bodies. So panchayats need to be given much importance regarding the local government and making them an autonomous body. That is Article 40. In Gandhian principle, we also see Article 43. Article 43 suggests promotion of cottage industries. That is, even this strengthens the local bodies. Local bodies in sense, we have in panchayat system, we have 3 tiers of government. That is Gram Sabha, we have in intermediary level Mandal Parishad, and at district level Zilla Parishad. So cottage industries should be promoted at grassroots level. So what is cottage industry? Any industry using local resources, using local people, a setup should be built where there is a manufacture of different kinds of products that is based on MSME. We have micro, small and medium industries. So the government should take steps to promote local cottage industries involving local people and local resources. This concept will strengthen the economic activity, or the economically the people will be more strengthened. So we suggest that the steps taken by the government in promoting cottage industries will obviously decrease unemployment. Unemployment will be reduced. The people will get money in their hands. There will be a continuous cycle of demand and supply, consumption and production. So again we say it will also promote the living standards of the people. It will increase the living standards of the people. That is why we have taken this Article 43 in Gandhian principle, because Gandhi said that to have a vibrant democracy, to grow the nation, for the development of the nation, the local people or the local bodies should be given powers. They should be made more autonomous. The people should be made to participate in the governance of the country. So that is promotion of cottage industries. Here again 43B. Here we have seen village panchayats, cottage industries. When cottage industries will be successful? When there is a group of person, who come together and establish some sort of industry. For that, the government need to provide them with economic incentives in terms of loans, in terms of subsidized electricity or things like that. So cooperative societies should be strengthened, and these cooperative societies should be formulated voluntarily. Voluntarily, people should come together, form a cooperative society and start any entrepreneurship. There in that organization or in that society, the function should be based on autonomous principles. So government should not interfere in day-to-day administration of such cooperative societies. The people should be given power, autonomy in deciding the rules and regulations of such societies. There should be a democratic control in the society. We have a periodic elections in any cooperative society. One among them will be elected as a leader, and there will be a democracy kind of decision making in cooperative societies, and the management should be professional, so that the future of these cooperative societies will see the success. So we say Article 43B promotes cooperative societies, giving them autonomous power to function. Article 46. In Gandhian principle, we say Article 46 is to promote educational and economic interest of weaker sections. Because when we say directive principles of state policy ensures a socialistic pattern of society. Here when we say socialistic pattern of society, the government has the responsibility to distribute whatever material resources they have within the state. The material resources should be distributed among the people. So concentration of the wealth should be reduced. So the wealth should not be in the hands of few people. So when we say promotion of educational and economic interest, it means like we have seen many examples We have schools, residential schools at village level. We have colleges, government run universities. So we also have minority colleges. So the government should take steps to provide education for the weaker sections of the society free of cost. No person should be left out of the education system, because we know the problem of illiteracy. For any country to grow on modern lines, they have to be well educated. The skills should be improved. For any industrial countries, we have seen the skill is more important. So here, educational and economic interest. If government provides education, definitely the citizen will be empowered and he will try to earn. So the economic condition of the citizen is related to education. If a citizen is skilled, well educated, then they will have good opportunities and they would do better economically. So that is the responsibility of the government, to provide free education and give opportunities of employment. This article 46 guides the state government to bring many policies related to education. When we say public health, this is article 47. It is the responsibility of the government, or the state shall take steps to increase the health standards of the people. So when we say health standards, right from providing safe drinking water, nutritious food, good quality of air, good conditions, good environmental conditions, good roads, good connectivity, whatever. So it is the responsibility of the government to provide public health, to improve public health. This article also guides state government or central government to provide health facilities to the people, taking public health very close to the people. That is, construction of hospitals, government hospitals, or primary health centers at rural and local areas, that is urban areas. Bringing medical facilities close to the people, affordable to the people. So all these steps are taken because directive principles of state policy guides the state in formulating of the policies. So it is very important to spend more money on education and health. This should be given more priority by any government in the state. So generally speaking, health and education are very important, and it should be more accessible and affordable by the people. We have seen this, the importance of health, when in the time of pandemic, many people could not afford the corporate hospitals charges. So government should take active steps to promote government hospitals and to provide free health to the needy people, poor people. That is the importance of Article 47. Article 48 talks about prohibiting of slaughter of cows. So, slaughtering of cows, which are milching animals, we get milk from these breed. So, the government should take steps to prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves, and other milching animals, milk giving animals, so that the production of the milk is increased. For the population of our country, it is necessary that we increase the milk production, and it also balances the ecology. So Article 48 emphasizes on protection of such breeds which gives milk, and also for the improvement of such milching animals. So we know many breeds are there. Scientifically, there are many breeds which gives lots of milk. So on scientific lines, we need to improve that production. So that was DPSP based on Gandhian principles. When we say Article 48, we also have Article 48 in liberal and intellectual principles also. This we will be discussing. So now we have directive principles based on liberal and intellectual principles. Article 44, this is Uniform Civil Code. We know we have many different codes like Hindu law, Shariat law, that is Muslim law, and other laws. But because we have a united system of judiciary, here there is a need to have uniform civil code. Though we did not made it mandatory, but the DPSP has said that there need to be have a uniform civil code which is applicable throughout the territory of India. So on these lines only, we have removed the system of triple talaq. So uniform civil code under Article 44 is very important. It brings a uniformity in the territory of India in terms of code, that is civil code. When we discuss Article 45, it gives importance to early childhood care. We know Article 45, by this we have made the right to education. Right to education, this law has been made, and now right to education is under fundamental rights under Article 21A. So the government says that any children between the age of 6 to 14 years of age should have a free and compulsory education. So this under DPSP, any child under 6 years should be given special care by the government and also by the parents. They should create a good environment for the overall development of such child. So this is early childhood care and education for the children until they complete the age of 6 years. After 6 years, they have a formal education. From 6 to 14 years of age, there is a free and compulsory education under right to education, which is a fundamental right. Any state or its action violates this article, that is right to education, then the citizen could go to court for the enforcement of this fundamental right. So early childhood care in education, this is also very important, where a children will be given free vaccines. In central government's program, we have Indradhanush, where the children will be given free vaccines, because childhood care is more important. They have to be protected from dangerous diseases. So Article 45, which guides the state to bring such policies which affects the children positively. Here in Gandhian principle, we have studied Article 48, where the slaughtering of cows are prohibited. Here in this article, the agricultural and other sectors like animal husbandry should be on modern and scientific lines. We have to organize agriculture and other related activities on modern and scientific lines. So implementation of machineries, using modern techniques in animal husbandry are the effects of this article, Article 48. So any state should take such steps to organize the agriculture and other related activities on modern lines. So this is very important in our primary sector, because we know in India, primary sector is the backbone. Many things have to be changed, at least now. So still India follows old system of farming. So the government should take active steps to replace with modern techniques of farming. So distribution of tractors, implements and other techniques like drift irrigation, using less water for more production. So all these techniques should be made available to the farmers. They have to be given loans and subsidies on these machineries. So this will improve the production and definitely adds to the growth of GDP. So Article 48 is important to strengthen the primary sector, and also it will strengthen the manufacturing sector too, because this sector, primary sector, supplies raw materials. So it is the responsibility of the government, it is the responsibility of the state to organize agriculture and other related activities in modern lines, modern and scientific lines. Article 48A, amended one. This article talks about protection of environment. So it is also the responsibility of the government to protect the environment, to maintain the balance, ecological balance, because it is mandatory or it is advisable that at least 33% of the land should be covered with forest. We have bringing many policies regarding this. We have afforestation policy like social forestry, community forestry, where we grow plants and trees. In Telangana government, for example, we have a program of Harita Haram, where we plant trees every year. So this will enhance the forest cover, which also plays an important role in good production of the agriculture. That is, it will enhance the rains, monsoons will be increased. So it is the duty of the state to protect environment, and whatever forest we have, the natural resources should be protected, should be preserved and conserved. We also say that not only environment and forest, the wildlife should be protected. So wildlife are the rich resources of any nation. It is the responsibility of the government or state to protect wildlife. In this case, the government has many policies like wildlife sanctuaries, tiger reserves, elephant sanctuaries, bird sanctuaries. We also have zoological parks, that is zoo parks. So these all steps of the government will definitely brings the wildlife safety, and there is a in situ and ex situ protection. So it is very important that the environment should be preserved and conserved, so that there prevails a balance, an equilibrium between the ecological systems. So Article 48 talks about improve in environment, forest, safeguarding forest and also wildlife. So this is Article 48A. Article 49, it is the responsibility of the state, or the state shall take steps to protect monuments which has historical background. Those monuments which are standing since ages should be protected and preserved. For example, we have Golconda Fort, we have Charminar. So all these monuments are protected by the state. We have to protect them because the coming generations should know about the history. So all these monuments are rich in heritage, and every state or the government should take steps to protect and preserve such historical monuments which has artistic interest or historic interest. So we generally see many agencies, government agencies like archaeological department will try to preserve rich heritage. There may be temples, there may be monuments, there may be some sort of historic and archaic monuments. So the state will protect such monuments. And it is also mentioned in our fundamental duties that every citizen shall show respect towards those monuments. Even it is the duty of the citizen to protect such historical monuments. Article 50 talks about the separate judiciary, that is, separation of judiciary from executive. So, judiciary and executive need to be separate. This is for the specialization purpose. We need to separate judiciary from executives. We have tribunal systems. Example for this. So, executive should not be mixed with judiciary. So, this is Article 50. On international and Western principles, we see that for any country, maintaining cordial relations, maintaining friendly relations with other countries is also important, because we are living in a world which is connected, market connected, which have culturally connections. So all these things should be maintained by having a friendly relation with other countries also. We have a diaspora which live in other countries. So economic relations are also important. We also sign many agreements with many international agencies like United Nations, like UNICEF, World Bank, IMF. We also have many bilateral and multilateral agreements. We have many groups like World Trade Organization, World Health Organization. We have multilateral groups like SAARC, BRIC, G20, ASEAN, etc. So, to respect such agreements and to adopt those conventions, our country should have a friendly relation with other countries also. Here, Article 51 says, it declares that the state shall establish international peace and security. How? By maintaining just and honorable relations with other nations. For fostering respect for international law, we have international law and we will enter into treaties or agreements with other countries. We need to respect such agreements. We should encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. This means no country could afford continuous clashes with other countries or neighbor countries, because it is against the larger interest of the people. It would affect on development of the country, both economically and politically. So we have to settle those disputes which arise due to many reasons. They have to be settled by arbitration. Arbitration is a method in alternative dispute resolution, ADR. So we have international justice, ICJ. We have methods like arbitration, reconciliation and mediation. By the process of arbitration, many disputes have to be settled so that there prevails a peace and tranquility. So all these principles guide the government in framing policies for overall development of the nation. So as we said, directive principles are very important, which guides the state government or state, be it central government or state government, in framing such policies which upholds the interest of the nation. So we have categorized these directive principles, though it is not mentioned in the Constitution, but for a general understanding, we have categorized these directive principles into 4 categories. So, one is socialistic principle, Gandhian principle, liberal intellectual principle, and principles based on international and Western laws. So, we have added many things in directive principles of state policy by various amendments. We will see what are those articles which have added by constitutional amendments, which are not there in original constitution. So 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is very important. It has changed, modified and also inserted few provisions in directive principles of state policy. We have Article 39A. This is to provide free legal aid to the poor people. As we have mentioned in our preamble, justice, socio-economic and political justice should be provided for every citizen. Generally, we see as we have lot of poverty, illiteracy in our country. Most of the people could not afford the expensive judicial process, and to provide them the opportunity for justice, the government or the state should take such steps as providing free legal aid. So justice should not be denied to any citizen just because they cannot afford the judicial process. They are not kept away from the justice. So the state government should take steps to provide free services, free legal services. That was added by 42nd Constitutional Amendment, Article 39A. Article 39F is also added. It says the children should be given a chance to grow. They should given an opportunity to grow. The state should take active steps for the development of the children. So below the age of 6 years, the state should take such steps right from taking public health closer to the people, affordable medicines or affordable public health in terms of primary health centers. So it is the responsibility of the state to provide children a chance to grow. 43A, it is also added by 42nd Amendment, where we say the workers are made to participate in the management of any organization. They should have a sense of participation. That satisfaction will make them to work more positively. So there should be a participation in between workers and the management. Workers should be asked or taken suggestions by the management. They have to have a good relation between employee and employer. So this participation is on the lines of democracy. Any worker should feel that they are the part of such organization in which they are working. So this is very important, which has given a good chance to work for the workers. So Article 48, this we have seen added by 42nd Amendment Act. It says to protect and improve the environment. The environment should be improved, the forests should be preserved, wildlife should be preserved. So the state should take such steps in the protection, conservation and preservation of environment, forest and wildlife. So by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, we have inserted few things. That is Article 38. This says the state should strive to minimize the gap, or the gap should be reduced between haves and have-nots. There should be a lessen gap. The inequalities should be reduced. This is why we say socialistic pattern of the society, the government or the state shall ensure that the distribution of wealth and no concentration of wealth in the hands of the few. The wealth should be distributed among the community, among the common people. This enhances the overall development, regional wise, region wise. So, all the sections of the society, be it agrarian class, industrial workers, or people living in cities, everyone should have equal development. Otherwise, there will be an unbalanced development. When this equilibrium is missed, then there will be an unbalanced development which could lead to chaos. So, the state shall strive to decrease the inequalities. The gap should be reduced. So, the state will minimize the economic inequalities. Again, inequalities in terms of status, facilities and opportunities. This means the state should take active steps to provide opportunities for the people in terms of employment, in terms of giving facilities. So, by providing loans, by providing subsidized implements, the government would improve the living standards of the underprivileged section of the society. So, it should be proactive step by the government, special focus on such sections of the society where generally they are lacking, or the development, the fruits of development are not reaching to the section of the people. So, it is the responsibility of the state to take certain steps to improve their living standards. So, many government schemes we have seen will make such sections of the people participate in the system. So, giving loans by the banks, like we have Mudra scheme, by giving loans to self-help groups, by giving loans to Dalits and tribals. So, all these steps will enhance their living standards, and obviously the development will be more comprehensive. So, we have seen that in our preamble we mentioned that we should take steps on establishing a socialistic pattern of society, that is socialism. To make it reality, the state shall take steps to improve the living standards of all the sections of the people. So, we have eliminated right to property because this was causing lot of problems. Many cases are there in the Supreme Court regarding right to property. So, we have repealed right to property, which was under Article 31 and also under Article 19 Clause 1F. We have made the right to property as an ordinary right or a legal right. So, this has ensured that the wealth is distributed among the common people or community. So, this was inserted by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. 86th Amendment Act. We know that Article 45, to provide education to the children, we have made compulsory education, that is right to education, under Article 21A. 21A mandates that every citizen or every child between the age group of 16 to 14 years of the age should be given free and compulsory education. So, this Amendment Act, that is 86th Amendment Act, has made Article 21A, inserted Article 21A, which guarantees or which makes it compulsory for the age group of 16 to 14 years of child to go to school.